one thing the OSI protocol gave us was a reference model. It gave us this model on how the protocol was actually built with different layers so that we can build upon these different layers, and we didn't have to worry about, doing the entire thing for one project. Where before, when we had old host-to-host or type models where one host would talk to another, the engineers would have to write the entire communication stack for one device to talk to another. They'd start at the physical layer, how is the binary encoded, all the way up to how the application is exchanging data. And it took a long time to build that engineering so that the devices could talk to each other. And because it was designed by a small set of engineers, it was proprietary and only going to work between those two devices. So the concept of this reference model to where different companies can focus on various areas of this communication stack, it meant that you had modularization, modular engineering, if you will, so that somebody writing network-based applications didn't necessarily have to worry about the type of network card that was being used, and didn't have to write drivers for Ethernet cards or, back in the day, token ring cards or other type of LAN-based interfaces. We didn't have to worry about that if we were writing an application to communicate from one host to another. Same thing with the actual network protocol. We wouldn't have to worry about writing recreating TCP/IP if all I was worrying about was cable standards and creating a new fiber optic cable or something like that. So this kind of network layer model, and you'll see the example here on the screen, we have, starting from the top down, application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. And I'm going to break out each of these as we go through the next few slides. Again, the idea, just to kind of bullet point this, is that the concept here that we've moved into in treating this OSI protocol stack, and that's what this is. It's the OSI protocol stack. We're treating it as a reference model today. And the reason why we're treating it as a reference model is because other vendors wanted to sell their products to the U.S. military. U.S. military tends to have a lot of money, high budget. They'd like to sell their products too, and they didn't want it to be necessarily the OSI protocol. So by tying their protocol stack, for instance, there's a comparison model between TCP/IP and the OSI reference model, which we'll be showing later, that was specifically created to make it match to the OSI protocol so they could be gossip compliant, be compliant with that edict so they could sell the TCP/IP based equipment to the U.S. military. And because of that, everything seems to be referenced back to this model. That's the reason why we're all not running the OSI protocol, because there was a loophole there within that government OSI proposal that allowed us, if we could tie it to this kind of layered model, we would be able to sell our products to the military. So that's why you're going to see this over and over and over throughout your career. You're going to see this OSI reference model. Granted, it's not simply an unusable thing. I use this all the time. I'll refer to layer 2 devices versus layer 3 devices, or layer 3 communication versus layer 2 communication all the time. Matter of fact, the longer you take these courses, the more you're going to recognize that I'm talking about that a lot, and I'm referencing back to this model. So if you don't know this model, you need to spend a lot of time and make sure you really commit this to memory so that you understand it. All right, a good way to memorize this, there's a lot of different mnemonics to memorize this. I've asked students for years to come up with them, and the most popular ones of this is people don't need to see Paula Abdul. Nothing against Paula Abdul, but that's just a mnemonic people have come up with. Another one is please do not throw sausage pizza away. So please do not throw sausage pizza away. Another one is people don't need... I did that one already. Let's see. All people should try not dying poor, going from the top down. So there's quite a few ways to memorize this. Pick the one that you like and go from there. All right, so let's look at the individual layers by themselves and talk about what they do.